I have a lot of gardening stories to tell, but today's story is going to be about the very first rose. These are knockout rose bushes. This one's like a very deep, deep red color, magenta red. And this is from May 27th. This is the first rose that opened up completely. And I have two pictures here because I'm using my little tiny Canon mini Ivy printer, and sometimes the colors, you have to play around with some of the settings like brightness, contrast, and saturation of color. And it's hard to tell on this camera, but there's a very slight difference between these two. If you see, this one looks a little lighter and you could see the dark areas with a little bit more contrast. I took out some of the color saturation. Now these roses are saturated with color. They're brilliant, but it doesn't come out very well in the picture. I mean, it looks like a big red blob. So I tried to take out a little bit of the saturation, and I don't know if that's coming across, but it's a little bit lighter, and in person you can see the details of the flower a little bit better. Anyway, there's not much difference there, so, you know, I'm still learning. I'm trying to get a good picture with a little bit more contrast. Maybe I should have hit the contrast button a little bit more, but I really don't want to print out each picture twice because they're like 50 cents a picture to print them out. But I have an idea for this one. I don't know if it's going to work, but I can always use them for something else. I can even put them in the trashy instead of throwing them away. So I might skip ahead. And this is that other new paper pack that I love, these colors. Look at that, just gorgeous. So I might skip ahead maybe to, I have some white paper here. To a white page so I can cover it with my new paper into the garden. And the cat did get a hold of my ribbon, like I said before, and there are a few teeth marks in here. Well, there's one right there, a few holes. So I'm gonna go put this up on the shelf. Okay, now in this pack were some beautiful rose papers. There was this one, isn't that gorgeous? And look at the pink, and there was this one. I think there was one way at the back too. Oh, that was the mushrooms at the back. Okay, so we got the pink, and the green, and the purple, and this one, the butterflies, and oh, this one. A lighter pink. And some more of the purple. So, they're all so pretty. I don't know which one to use. I'm loving this one. I just have to use this one. Okay, there are 3 of each. 3 of each. Okay. So I am going to do a simple journaling page because I love this paper. I'm going to cut this down to size. Isn't that beautiful? I could almost put this all the way across, couldn't I? On both papers. Could put it in the middle. That might be really nice. So I trimmed the rose bushes back in March, I believe it was. I did journal about that. And they came out really nice. I was very surprised and very happy. that I didn't kill them because I cut them way back. And I believe it was more than a third. I'm looking out the window and I could see the hummingbird over on the honeysuckle vine. Cat's knocking at the door. Don't you just love it when you open the door and the cat will just stand in the doorway? Neither come in nor go out. I think that's just a thing that cats do. Just a thing that they do. I might have to trim this a little bit. Just a shave. Okay, and I gotta mark it this way. All right, I'm gonna do this off camera. I'll be right back. I have the background on both pages glued down, and I'm just gonna use this page for my knockout rose picture. Now, it's hard when you first get a paper pack because you don't have any scraps. So you've got to go into some large sheets and cut them up. But now I have scraps. So I went with this really pretty green. Let me show you a bigger piece. With the gold dots because of the gold dots all over this page. And before I glue that down, I did my little bit of journaling about my first full knockout rose blossom. And how I'm relieved I really didn't kill the bushes when I trimmed them back. That they're looking good. And I am working on doing a couple of techniques, you know, new stuff all the time. And I'm thinking about doing a doodle. I picked this light pink to go with this as the background. Now, I was thinking, well, should I put some darker pink around the edge, you know, ink it up? And then I'm thinking, well, I can just do a simple something. Just like maybe a faux stitch with my glaze pen. Just something I don't usually do. Or I could try something like, I'll get a piece of scratch paper here. And this is my glaze pen. I could just go around the edge like that. Or I could just put some stitching. There's not a lot of room, so I can't do anything big. So I don't want it too much because I want this to be the focal point here. So maybe I'll just go with this stitching on this one. So I'm just going to make some dashes all the way around. Now, glaze pen dries shiny and with a little bit of dimension to it. And that's what I love about it. Now this is like doing slow stitching. You don't have to be perfect at all. I like it. I like it. Now you gotta let it dry though, because it's a little bit of a dimension. It needs to dry. So I'm gonna go around and do this one. And while I'm doing this, why don't you go outside and I'll show you what the whole rose bush looks like. This is rose bush number 1. As you can see, after the first blossomed, many buds are starting to open. I had cut this one way back. Rose bush number 2 is a smaller one. It's on this side of the front steps, but it is also blooming. Look at those gorgeous roses. This is rose bush number 3. And I just noticed Mr. Possum put a string on it, and that's not too good. No, you don't want to tie them up like that. You want the air to be able to circulate around the stem so they don't get the rot. And I got one more. This is the other one. It has a lot of buds, but they haven't opened up yet. Yeah, Mr. Possum was really loving these knockout roses. So this is the 4th one we planted with that really bright pink color. He calls them drop dead. They are drop dead gorgeous, but that's not what they're called. They're called knockout roses. And rose bush number 5 is the newest one and the smallest one. And it is not next to the house. It's out here by the driveway. And this one has, or it will have pretty soon, yellow roses. And all the rose bushes are doing really well after I went chop on them back in March. Okay, my little cards are ready. And I'm thinking about adding a touch of this gold vine. I've got a little bit of this. I got that used like at the flea market or yard sale or something. So I don't have a lot of it. But I think the gold would be pretty on this page. But should I put it under the rose? Over the rose? I'm thinking over the rose along the edge. To complement all the little gold dots. Like that. Kind of ties things together, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to glue this down. And then I'm thinking maybe one more thing. I don't want to put too much because this page is just really pretty the way it is. You don't really have to overdo it. The decorating is mostly done for you by having such gorgeous paper. Okay, I might have to hold this down a second. Make sure the corners don't pop up. Okay, and then I can put this right up here. So this gold leads your eye right to that big, beautiful red rose. I don't know why cardstock always pops up. Tacky glue is supposed to hold it down. Alright, I'm probably going to use the smaller thing of glue to glue this down. Oops. I have this in green, and that I bought, you know, off the Amazon or somewhere. But this one I got at a yard sale, and I wish there were more on the spool. But just got this little bit here, maybe a yard or so. Originally it was 5 yards, and I know there's not 5 yards on there. I think I hear the cat banging on the door. Come in, go out, come in, go out. I must get tired of hearing me say that. I'm always stopping to let the cat in or out. Oh, now she's crying. She wants to come in. Well, even my simple pages just go on and on and on. I glued down the gold vine, and I love that. And now I wanted to add something to the corner, so I punched out a flower from this really pretty paper here. And I wanted to just stick it up here to bring a little bit of that green over there, but now I want to bring over the gold. So I went and got my box of bling, and I don't have really too much gold, but I have these little half rounds, so let me see what I can do here. And I want it up in the corner. Squeeze it on there. Didn't plan for this. But you know how that goes. One idea leads to another. Add that little bit of gold right there. Like that. Now, there it is. This page is ready to go for the next idea, but I'm going to backtrack and do some other journaling because I skipped ahead to do this. Always extra glue. Kitty's in my lap. Here she is. She's purring now. She was crying outside the door. She wanted to come in. Okay. Well, that's it. That's it. I'm going to end this video. And then if I do more journaling, I'll just start another one. So I just want to wish everybody happy junk journaling, happy garden journaling, happy gardening. And thanks for coming along today. Bye-bye.